Do we think we can understand the universe? If you think you can look out at 100 trillion stars and have a grasp of the universe, do you think you can have a grasp of God? I think that's what this is showing us. His universe is so vast. His creation is so immense. There's no way we could possibly understand His creation, and so there's no way we could possibly understand God. God is far beyond our comprehension.
This is a Truth Transforms Truth Nugget, a daily dose of truth for your daily transformation.
Well, in verses 3 and 4, as we move on, they show us that the majesty of God is in creation. The majesty of God is in creation. Verse 3, when I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place. What is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him? What we see here is we see the greatness of God's creation. We see the insignificance of man. We see a contrast there, just how great God's creation is and just how small and insignificant man is. And we've got a great God, and we've got an unimportant mankind. But God has great care for mankind, and we'll see that. Well, this is likely when David was a shepherd boy. He was staring out in the sky at night. He was staring out in the sky into the moons and the stars, and he's looking at this grandeur of God's creation, and he's saying, "This is amazing, God. I can't believe how amazing this is. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars," he said, "which you have set in place, I think to myself, what is man that you are mindful of him? I think to myself, in all of this creation, look how small I am. Look how insignificant I am. Why do you even give me attention, God?" It seems to be what he's saying. And he calls God's work, his amazing creation, the work of his fingers. They were created with the finger of God. And of course, this isn't the only place that we see the Bible talk about the finger of God. It is by the finger of God that the miracles were done through Moses when he delivered the Israelites from Egypt. It was by the finger of God that the Ten Commandments were written on Mount Sinai. And it was by the finger of God that Jesus casts out demons. We see the finger of God throughout Scripture. And so let's think about God's creation, the moon and the stars. They're massive, right? Did you know that there are 200 billion stars in our galaxy alone? 200 billion. And that's just our galaxy. Obviously, there are many galaxies. Scientists believe there are as many as 500 billion galaxies. Those 200 billion stars for every galaxy. So 200 billion stars times 500 billion galaxies, that's 100 trillion stars. Do we think we can understand the universe? If you think you can look out at 100 trillion stars and have a grasp of the universe, do you think you can have a grasp of God? I think that's what this is showing us. His universe is so vast. His creation is so immense. There's no way we could possibly understand His creation, and so there's no way we could possibly understand God. God is far beyond our comprehension. And of course, as we look out of those stars in the pre-scientific time of David looking at the stars, he knew a couple of things. He knew that those stars are really small. And so the fact that they're really small, they're really far away. It doesn't take modern science to know that. And he'd be right. The stars are really far away. The closest star is said to be 4.2 light years away. And you say, well, what in the world does that mean? Well, that means that if you take the fastest aircraft ever invented, have no idea how fast that is, and you get on that aircraft and you go as fast as you can to the closest star, it's going to take you over 70,000 years to get there. That's how vast God's creation is. And so we see that and we hear those things. This is all created by the finger of God. This is His amazing creation. We think, well, then man clearly is very insignificant, right? We're a little ant on a little ant planet. we're a little nothing in the middle of God's universe. That's exactly right. But yet, as we move on in the psalm, we see that even though we're a little nothing, even though we're much smaller than we think of ourselves because we're very, very insignificant, God cares for us greatly, and God gives mankind glory and honor. He actually lifts up mankind even though he doesn't need to. And that's what we see in verses 5 to 8. We see that the majesty of God is in mankind.
Thank you for watching. I do hope that was a blessing. If you did appreciate that, be sure to like it, share it with others, and hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. You'll be notified of new videos whenever they come out. And God bless you. Have a great day.